making it easy for you to get entrance into good schools in the U.S. and also to get some financial aid or scholarship.
Yeah, Mikey, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the SATs is probably the single most important criterion that is used by universities when awarding scholarships. So even for our students, if you're able to do exceptionally well in the SATs, which is like a kind of an entrance exam, if you like, that's standardized across the United States, that allows you, if you're going to enter university, to do this test. And if you do really well, it's in 3 areas really. It's in English, math, and kind of a general area. And if you do that, then you can actually get scholarships. I know of people who've gotten scholarships based upon the excellent SATs. And you in fact have a program where you prepare students to take the SATs.
Yeah, yes, we have. We've had that for the last 4 or 5 years, where we've been preparing students to take the SAT exams as part of the whole study abroad program.
Oh, that's excellent. And that's another great opportunity, I think, that parents should avail themselves of here in Dominica. If certainly you want to get your child into university, and that is one way, that's one, if you're thinking you don't have the thousands and thousands of dollars it takes, if your child is bright and can do good on those tests, there are opportunities that the schools provide in the United States for those students. And Mikey, we were discussing something right before, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But I think we were talking about the ability for students, and to some extent you have kind of answered that, in the sense that if students excel during the boarding school process, that they can in fact move on with scholarships to those schools. But it's an excellent way to prepare these students.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. I mean, it's a prep. It's most the boarding schools, most of them go from grade 9 to grade 12. Grade 9 is about 4th form, and grade 12 is 2 years beyond 5th form in our situation. All right, so those are the ranges that they're looking at. There's some which you can get in a little earlier, but predominantly they go from 4th form to 2 years past 5th form.
Okay, Mike, I know we're talking about academics and so on, but I know you also in MDC had a program where you were recruiting athletes.
Yeah.
Do you still have that program?
Yeah, we still have the program. We started the program 2 years ago, where we're looking at ways to get in athletes from the Marigot area and from Westmar Rangers teams principally into colleges in the US. Because I keep saying Jamaican does it, so why don't we? So we basically we're looking at the good athletes we have who can take advantage of that opportunity. We started off with Chelsea Linton. She was a heptathlete, or she is a heptathlete. She went to Essex Community College on a scholarship out of the program. She did very well. She's graduated this year with an associate degree, and she should be going to Missouri State College on a full scholarship, athletic scholarship. Right?
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, so for us, that is a successful intervention, because it has done what we said we could do, which was taking an athlete from Dominica through a junior college program and then to university on full scholarship most of the way. All right, there's a second student who is in the program now. She's doing well. And then we're looking this year to have another student join. We are a bit disappointed that we cannot get more students from our area, athletes, from our area.
But is it just track and field athletes, or are you looking at different other disciplines outside of track and field?
Track and field is the easiest to get in, because you don't really need a scout. All right, you can say the kid was at Carifta is recognized internationally. These are the times, these are the distances. People accept that. They don't really need to be there. You send them a video of the kid and stuff like that. We right now we're trying for volleyball for a female athlete, so fingers crossed on that one. The volleyball for male athletes, except in California, is very limited at the junior college level, because what we have found is that we don't feel our athletes are ready to perform academically at the college level. So like Jamaica has done, we're trying to ease our athletes into the system by letting them enter in at a junior college so that they can build up the academic credential, they can build up the academic confidence to be able to move into the NCAA where they can perform in Division 1 or 2 or whatever, and then to perform academically at a college level. All right, so, I don't know what's wrong with our system, but, our athletes not being prepared academically sufficiently so they can jump straight into, as far as we have seen from my experience.
Yes, good morning, caller.
Yes, that's the African brother.
Yes, how are you?
Good morning to your panel.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, that is a good move made outside of the government for development on our youth, not only youth, but for the country. That's a good step being taken by whichever institution.
The America Development Corporation.
That is a good step, and I give them an A+. And why is speaking to you? Presently, it's not really your subject, but on the other radio station, they're on your back with archives from your court affairs and false allegations mixed up. And you are doing something on the other station.
Well, that's good. I feel proud.
It's my duty to inform you.
I feel proud about that. I feel proud that I can be the subject of conversation. Whilst we're discussing ideas, let the other station discuss people. That's fine.
Yes, with false allegation added.
Yes, indeed.
So your back is large. Be strong.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Yes, Mikey. So we, and also I was thinking as well in terms of soccer or football. Are the openings there as well for if you have a talented footballer playing, say, for the national team or something who can?
And sometimes you just hold your head. You can't believe what's happening here. Sometimes you get schools asking for soccer players. Soccer is, it's in the US now, especially female soccer players. If you can get good soccer players, they can get schools. So now we have schools asking us for players. I have gone to say some of the guys in the football association and say, well, do you have young ladies who can qualify and so on? Do you have young guys who can qualify? And it's kind of disheartening sometimes when you just see we just don't. We have the talent, we have the sports talent, which doesn't seem to match with the academic talent. Because if you got to go to a university, you got to do the SAT, you have to get a certain minimum score and stuff like that. So, the opportunities are there, but I think, we have to do better to be able for our students to avail themselves of the opportunities that are there.
Morning. Sorry?
Okay, so, because if it's not only in soccer, across the board. I'm of the view that, sports is a very easy way to get an education, all right? Sports is your asset, right, to an education. And I think, any student who we have who can get a medal at the inter-schools game, should be able to get a scholarship to go to university in the US. It's there. We just, I don't think, are doing, are preparing them properly and not looking. I think for us at the MDC, we will continue to push our athletes. I say maybe in the next Olympics, where it's in Tokyo, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Tokyo, yeah.
Maybe we can contribute 5 athletes to the Dominican team by then. Because we are aggressive about it. We determine that the athletes in our community with the potential to support them to be able to develop their skill. And we think throughout the country the same thing can happen.
Yes, that is excellent. Let's take this other caller. Good morning, caller.
I say praises, thanks, blessings and glory to all with humanity. Doc, blessings on your family again, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Mikey, blessings on your family, sir.
Yeah, blessings, sir.
And really and truly blessings to you and your family. My brother, I have not a question, but just, to congratulate you, to commend you through the years for what I have heard, where your community is concerned. no broadening the scope to Dominicans. I just want to say, King, more glory to you, blessings and guidance and protection and more strength. Because to me, it is very, very, very interesting to listen to the amount of money that is being raised and where people could have access to further the education, further the studies and all of that. So more glory be to you, King, and more blessings and more guidance. I'm listening.
Thanks, man.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. So, Mikey, as we wrap it up there, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I just like to encourage persons interested in the program they can pick up forms for the boarding school component at Franz in Roseau or Country Style Bakery in Marigot. The parents of Marigot, we were this year that we had no students from Marigot for a program that was designed for the students of Marigot. We want to encourage the students of Marigot, the parents of Marigot. You got some very bright kids to look at the opportunity and to see how it is that you can position your sons and daughters to take advantage of a great opportunity. I am willing to work with all, to speak with all, and especially for the Marigot kids, to do what is necessary for them to be able to take advantage of this. But it's now, I mean, we got criticized by some persons in Marigot a couple of years ago. Just want to say that there were no kids who applied this year, but we're hoping that more kids from the Marigot area will come on board for the next program, which starts in the month of August. And we're looking forward to having the best of the best join us and to take advantage of the best universities that North America has to offer.
All right, indeed. And again, let's give them the number that they can reach you.
We can reach by WhatsApp 612-2248.
Okay, so that's the number 612-2248. If you have a child that is in that age range and wants to avail themselves of this excellent opportunity being provided, up to $2.3 million in scholarship money that's available for Dominican students to participate in the U.S. boarding school program.
Thompson, if I can say something, the 2.3 you see there, that's what was the value of the scholarships for those who will be entering in the fall.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's just for those who are going in. Okay.
So that's the value of. So that's already been.
That's already okay.
Gone.
Okay. So there's a further 2.3 or even more available.
I mean, there's lots of opportunity. I mean, if we get this year, we had 6 kids who will be going. I'm hoping next year we could have 10 to 12 kids who are going. I mean, that will help us to set a platform for kind of our intellectual base in Dominica. So maybe like Blessings can feel happy that 1979 we started to something about 1979. It's an opportunity to build a kind of a cadre, a quality of a intellectual who can contribute to moving the country forward in the years to come. But it's not limited. I mean, if we get 20 good kids, there's opportunity there. I mean, Dominica cannot fail the opportunity that's available. Jamaica does 60 to 70 kids into that program every year. Okay? Why can't we do 20? Why can't we do 15? And help to develop our human resource and to develop a base of a cadre of intellectuals that can move the country forward in years to come.
Mike, we seem to have a question for you. Good morning. Welcome to the hot seat.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm still on the football issue. I have a question I want to ask Mr. Pascal.
Yes.
Is if he can, or maybe if he able to get some used football uniforms for young men that want to play or for some people that want to organize on the 13 on the 14 football tournament in the community, if he will be able to get those kind of things. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm listening.
Yes, thank you, caller.
I mean, the answer is no. I mean, that's not our game, right? Our game is if you have good talent in soccer, who have academic potential, we can look at getting them into programs in the US. One of the things we've found in Dominica is, film. A coach says, send me film. There's no film. Students are in volleyball for years, there's no film. They're in soccer for years, there's no film.
Yeah, I know. I remember trying to work with one athlete, with one soccer player, and I couldn't get anything on him to give. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had that situation where since coaches yet are not coming to Dominica, except we have some in basketball, Washington and the guys in Portsmouth. May have some coaches who come down to do some scouting, but really, these coaches are not like Jamaica and some of the other islands, maybe even Grenada, where there's a name made and then the coaches are coming in to scout. So film.
Yes, caller, thanks for your patience. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hello, morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I kind of tuned in late into the program. I want to know what the age range is like and where will that symposium, so to speak, take place?
Okay, I think you're referring to, you may have heard a little bit last week. We had the symposium was held on Saturday at the Prevost City Mall. Now, if you want additional information, you need to contact either WhatsApp or call 612-2248. That's the number you can reach Mr. Pascal at to get additional information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mike, you seem to have a couple more calls. Good morning. Welcome to the hot seat.
Good morning, Dr. Fonkin.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to the gentleman who has this here.
Good morning, sir.
So, are you resident in the United States of America?
No, I'm resident in the United States, in Dominica.
So you're in Dominica. Because you see, my question is, I'm always confused. Why is it that football is referred to as soccer?
Oh well, yeah, because in America it's soccer.
I'm just confused because you see that is an American thing. Now there's the world organization for football is FIFA, and FIFA has no C in it or S in it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just that the US they have their own football, and that's the reason why they call it soccer.
I'm always confused about it, and Americans always have their own thing, and they still play under the FIFA arrangement, So I am just confused. So maybe we should just, in the Caribbean, just continue saying football.
Yeah, no, but when you refer to it's in America, that's a term that they use, so people understand that yeah.
America is not always right.
Doesn't matter what's the name, boss. If we can get the scholarships, we good.
That's the important thing. Yes. All right, caller. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks a lot. So yes, so Mikey, if you can just wrap up there as we come to the end of this segment.
Yeah, I just want to encourage persons to look at this opportunity, encourage students who are good students, bright students, parents who are bright students in the US, in fourth form and fifth form, who are looking at the US as an option to study. That they can look at the program as a way of getting in early, and being able to then move on to some of the great schools and the great potential that's available within the US.
Okay, so Mikey, again, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for availing us of this great opportunity to discuss a very exciting program. Again, the number 612-2248. We thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Mr. Mike, what's up?
Okay, let me welcome our listeners back to Q95. It's just about 2 minutes before the hour of 9 o'clock, and we are joined in studio by Mr. Severin Mackenzie. Of course, Severin needs very little introduction to listeners of Q95. Mr. Mackenzie is there in his capacity as or being involved in Nature Island paper products. And quite a lot has been happening with this company. Shares have been offered to the public. And Mr. Mackenzie is here this morning to tell us a little bit more about how you as a Dominican can get involved and get own a piece of the Nature Island paper products. Good morning, Seth, and welcome.
Good morning, Tom. How is it going?
Doing well, thank you.
I guess we can say hello to the people of Grand Four.
Yes, indeed. Grand Four is in the house.
Grand Four is in the house, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Just a point of correction, it's not public. We are not offering shares to the public. We are offering shares in a private offering.
Oh, it's okay, yes, and that's an important distinction
that's
to make.
That's a very important distinction. People have to know that it is a private company that is, in fact, making a private offering to people who are interested in investing in the company.
Okay.
So, we have to be very careful in the words that we use so that, people do not take us on after.
No, we've had some of that already, and we understand the reason why you need to be cautious there. So it's a private, but it does not prohibit people for expressing their interest.
No.
Right?
I mean, we are extending the invitation to everybody who is interested in a private company. And, most of the information is, in fact, private and confidential. So if people see I'm here, and they're listening to me and they find that I'm not giving information that they want to hear, it is because it is not a public company. If they want information, they're going to have to call me, or they would have to call McDonald Thomas, who is in fact the person in charge of the new company. I am speaking on behalf of the old company that is in fact transitioning to the new.
Okay, so now explain that to us in case that's some of our listeners that are hearing it for the very first time. What exactly is going on with Nature Island paper products?
Okay, sometimes you come and you intend to just continue from where you started, but
it's good to give context because we have listeners all the time who might have missed you the last time.
Exactly.
Certainly.
So basically, we started way back in 2010. As we move towards August 31st, we in fact will be celebrating our 6th anniversary producing toilet paper, tissue paper in Dominica. But what we did, Tom, was over the last year, in our 5th year of operation, we decided to take a critical look at the performance of the company over the last 5 years, or over the last 6 years. And we decided that we recognized that we were not satisfied, that we were moving the company to its full potential. Because when you look at the market, toilet tissue is a basic, essential commodity that everybody uses. And when we go back to our business plan and our market research, the average person uses about 8 sheets of toilet tissue when they use the washroom. And we did the calculations. An individual uses about 1 roll of toilet tissue a week. So you could safely say that one individual uses about 52 rolls a year, if every year still has 52 weeks.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
And so when you calculate 52 weeks by a population of about 70,000 people, forgetting visitors and forgetting stayover visitors and other uses that the product is used for, then you find that we are in fact consuming annually about 3.6 million rolls of toilet tissue. And if you were to just do a fast calculation, you're looking at a market for the toilet tissue component as in excess of maybe $5 million annually. When you add this to other paper products like paper towels and napkins and those type of things, you are very close to the domestic market being a good close to $8 million. And we believe that we can, in fact, take a good chunk of that market as a local company and also pursue export possibilities. And with that, we decided, when we looked at our performance, we were not satisfied that we were close enough to this target, the market that really existed. And there were many reasons, and one of them realized that me being basically the sole proprietor of the company was limited in access to the market. And how could, because I could tell you, I would send sometimes I would just visit the supermarkets and then have, by the cashiers and see people buying the imported ones and ask them, why didn't you buy the local? And, they give all kinds of reasons. So I realized that if we make a paradigm shift in terms of the ownership of the company and you broaden the ownership base and you allow more people to own the company, then we will have a bigger reach in terms of the market in Dominica, because this is a company. This is in fact a facility that can survive profitably by just taking a good chunk of the local market. So with that, we decided to broaden the base and to establish a completely new company to allow Dominicans at home and abroad to own it by investing in it. And the minimum investment in this case is $1,000. So we have actually launched it. A new company, Nature Island People's Paper Company, has in fact been registered and is operational. And the director, the main director of that company is in fact McDonald Thomas. And what he's doing is overseeing the transition, taking care of the investments. So people have started making their investments to the company. And I must send a special greetings to all the people in the diaspora who have in fact embraced the initiative and are showing us full support, to the extent that we are now hailing the company as the company of Dominicans at home and abroad.
Yes, indeed. No, this is excellent, Seven, and from what I'm hearing, that the response has been great. People are really coming on board to take a part of this company.
Oh yes, people are coming on board because there's everything. All the work has been done in terms of preparation. We have state-of-the-art machines. We have a place where we actually produce it. We have, in fact, some brands that have already established on the market. We have a reasonable amount of the market share, but this is what we are not satisfied with. And I believe that when we get more people involved, we are actually going to be able to take the part of the market that we really want, we really need. And with that, I believe with the support of the people, the Dominicans at home and abroad, the investments that they're right now making, that we will get there. We have been careful because, Dominica is not an easy place to invest. Dominica is not an easy place to invest, and, you have a number of things that we have to do. So over the last few weeks, for example, we have been doing we have been working with the lawyers as to how smoothly the transition will be, So, because at one stage we were heading towards the 31st of August to to have the shareholders meeting, and people would pick, we would have issuing shares and those type of things. But we sought legal advice, and then there is a system that is being put in place. So if people want to get more information on it, they could always call. They could always get in touch with us, and then we'll be able to give them the details of what we're actually doing.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Senator Thompson, and good morning to Reverend McKenzie.
Good morning,
yes,
sir.
Good morning.
I've been following the discussion, not only this morning, but I've been following the whole issue of the paper company. Sever is telling us that it is a private company, but he's saying every Dominican has an opportunity to invest in it. What is the difference between that concept and a public company as opposed to what he's calling a private company? I'm a little confused, because if you, maybe if I let him tell me what is the difference, then probably I can probably make a better contribution in terms of, because I'm trying to embrace.
Let me see if I could. I am not how you call it, an expert in business, and in those and some of those things. What we were advised is we have existing, and which is what I'm representing. I'm representing Nature Island Paper Products, which is the company that I established in 2010. Now this company has decided to transition, and we're putting our assets on sale. Okay. Now,
I understand that so far.
You understand that? Good. So at one stage we were just going to sell out and get out, but then when we got the response from the public, we got response that we should try to keep the company private, Dominican, and a number of different things. So then we brainstormed quite a bit. We brainstormed on the whole idea and came up with the decision that the best thing to do was to establish a brand new company of new shareholders, and then these shareholders could invest in the new company, not in my company. And then, so what has actually happened? A new company has actually been established. A new company has been registered with Mr. McDonald Thomas as the director. And the sole purpose of this company, it will be to accept the investments from persons who are interested in investing in the new company. All right?
Okay.
You following me? So this new company, so what I am doing as the old company is just letting people know that this is what we are in fact doing. So I am not a director of the new company, for example, but I intend to be a shareholder of the new company.
Well, it wasn't the question, or the concern that I have wasn't along the lines of, the question was that you are specifically saying it is a private company and not a public company.
Okay, well, in this case, what we're actually doing is originally the intention was to establish a public company, and then we were advised that a public company has a lot of implications and a lot of different requirements that it's supposed to meet. For example, possibly meeting the requirements of the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange and a number of different things. So then the legal advice was it was best to establish a private company where people can invest privately. They can make their investments into the new company as private investors. And then the shareholders will then, when they meet for their first time and they take their decision, they put their board of directors in place, then we'll move forward. But it is in fact a private company.
That is the issue I have, because I don't understand the concept of a private company here. The public is purchasing shares, and then you say it is not a public company. The only difference is you have to go to and get the stuff as well. You have to have a perspective, which is basically what you do. You provide information on the directors, the management, and the direction, your objectives, where you want to go, your financial extensions and this sort of stuff. But then it is regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange. The fundamental difference I see that you'd have to get a bank to do the share, the setting of the shares and that sort of stuff. If they were excess, then they may decide to take it up and that sort of stuff. But I don't know
That, you see, when you're doing business, you get business people or finance person. When you want legal matters, you go to an attorney because in fact, it's a public company. Because you say the entire public can buy shares. This is a private company. You have private agreements with, let us say, 10 persons. You own the company, but you have private agreements. But if you go in public, everybody can invest 1,000 shares. This is like almost.
No, well, if this is why I said that there are certain things that if people want, they could actually get more information privately. But what I'm doing is just letting people know that this company, the paper products company, is in fact transitioning, and we are moving over. We'll be over to a new company where persons will be able to invest, but they'll have to get information from the director, Mr. McDonald Thomas, and then he would take it from there.
Okay. Right.
Okay, sir.
It was just my concern about that. But if I were to advise, I would have said use the services of the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange. Thank you.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things, because we were not, the company is not, the shareholders actually are the ones going to actually put things in place. We were not prepared to go and do this one because the shareholders will actually decide. Yes, so
thank you, caller. Appreciate it.
So this is basically what we are doing, and so far, as I said, we have been getting quite a bit of support. And I think what we're actually doing with the paper company right now is one where we will be able to have a sustainable company, because, as I said, quite a number, if I stand to be corrected, but I would expect that everybody, in fact, uses the toilet tissue.
I would hope, yes.
except those who may choose to use a bottle of water or a spoon or some fig leaf, because of this thing. But basically, this is where we are. And tomorrow afternoon, we are in fact having, that's Nature Island, because we just want to explain to people what we're actually doing. You see, just as the caller called to find out, to get the clarification, we realize that there's we have to dialogue with people. We have to keep the communication lines open. We have to do as much explaining as possible, because we are telling people that if they're interested in investing in the company, and it's only fair that they should have the information to make the decisions, to make the decisions that that can influence the decision, whether it is a positive decision or negative, whether you decide to be part of the company or you decide to be not part of it, but at least, the information is there. So tomorrow afternoon at the Gallery Hotel at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, at 5 p.m., we will be having a forum for potential investors. Anybody who is interested in investing can come in, and we would have a presentation, and people would come in and in fact be able to ask whatever questions are there.
All right, that's excellent. So that's happening tomorrow. It's at the
Gallery Hotel.
At the Gallery Hotel at 5 o'clock.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. So all those interested in being a part of the People's Paper Company, you're encouraged to come out and get as much information as possible, and you'll get the information with regards to the purchasing of shares. All of that, as Mrs. Mackenzie indicated, is a private company, so all the questions you have to ask have to be asked privately. We can't divulge it in the public domain.
In the public, So that's why we expose ourselves for face-to-face dialogue. Also, we are available by telephone. So anybody who wants to get in touch with me can in fact call me at 245-1294. The area code 767. So 767-245-1294, or they could actually call my office at 448-1941. And we could text us, they could email me. They could email me, in fact, at NIPPINC Dominica, NIPPINC Dominica, the whole word, at gmail.com. And, whatever information they need with regards to the transition from, the transitioning of the paper products business in Dominica, they could get in touch with me, and we would be more than willing to give them the information. At the same time, I just want to take the opportunity to thank again all those who have demonstrated their interest in the initiative, and I can tell you, I can assure you that, we are going into a very lucrative business, because one of the things that we have been getting done is, I think, you see, just as the caller again called and spoke about different the private and public and those companies and those type of things, I think we should be having a little bit more of those type of information to let people know, what they can do in terms of investing. Because in the 60s, DCP was able to start a small company with coconuts where they got ordinary farmers to invest. And this company, within a number of years, was able to grow into one of Dominica's biggest manufacturing enterprises. Unfortunately, they folded up after so many years last year, which is an unfortunate situation. But way back in the 60s, Dominicans understood how to invest. You understand where I'm coming from? But since DCP, I am not too sure that there has been any real private enterprise that has been open for people to invest and help this company grow, so that we can have a company that moves from being, micro to mega. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the areas that we are looking at, because the paper products industry is a very big industry, because you're dealing with toilet tissue, you're dealing with paper towels, you're dealing with paper table napkins, you're dealing with facial tissue, you're dealing with printing paper, you're dealing with paper for hospitals, airports. So all there is, the paper industry generally is a very big business that has quite a bit of scope. And if we can come together and make sure that we build an enterprise in Dominica that definitely has the potential of becoming big, we should take it, because I have been thinking since we started, and particularly over the last few months, as to what, if Dominicans would like to invest in something, what enterprise can they invest in that has a certain level of guarantee of success? And to be honest, I have not seen one more positive than in the paper industry. Because tissue paper, for example, as I mentioned before, is an essential commodity for people who use sugar, for example. You could almost consider that the paper products being more essential than even sugar, because diabetics may not be using sugar. You understand where I'm coming from? It may even be more essential than people who use flour, because a number of people may not be using flour because they are not tolerant to gluten. Mm-hmm. You understand where I'm going from? So whereas you cannot use sugar, you cannot use flour, you cannot eat rice, which we consider to be basic commodities, yet it is very rare that you would find somebody telling you that they do not use toilet tissue. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from. So if and again, the other products that they consider to be essential commodities, these are commodities people can choose to use once a week. Mm-hmm. You understand where I'm coming from? Yes. Toilet tissue is one that you almost, unless you have some type of, difficulties, is one thing that you're going to be using every day. So if this is the situation, why can't we, you understand where I'm coming from, mm-hmm. take advantage of the market that exists and build a company? The other challenge that I had, and I have received quite a bit of kind of criticism to say, how comes you could have such a lucrative company and you are allowing other people to participate in it? My simple answer is that, having gone through the grinds of establishing this company, I took a conscious decision to allow other people to participate, because I find that, the potential it has for growth, it is better achievable. It is more achievable collectively than I trying to do it individually, because I've gone through it for the last 6 years on my own, and I've seen the challenges that exist, and because of that, I am convinced that the best way to go is to allow as many people as possible to take ownership of this enterprise, and together we can actually succeed. And so this is basically my mantra right now. And as I said, because of the support that I have been seeing from the people from the diaspora and from locals, I am persuaded to adopt the company initiative as the Dominica Company. The company of Dominicans at home and abroad.
Yes.
Because for years I know that there are a number of Dominicans who would like to be part of an initiative of this type, and I think that this is the initiative that the people, particularly those overseas, should take advantage of. And I could tell you, it is in good hands, because your investment is well protected and well managed, and only the shareholders, when they meet for the first time at the end of August, early September, that when they appoint the board of directors, that their investments is in fact going to be touched. So all investments that are being made right now is in fact going into an account managed by Mr. Thomas, and it's only after the board of directors is put in place, then they will start doing certain things and moving the company forward.
Yes, indeed, Several, and let me commend you for what you're doing, and for even opening up the company to all of Dominica. And I'm very much impressed with the level of support you're getting even from overseas. And talking of which, we have an overseas caller on the line. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Fountain. How are you?
Okay, doing well.
And Mr. Mackenzie.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, this is Fabian. Let me ask you, what kind of capital that you're looking for before you are able to establish the company and start manufacturing?
Okay, we are manufacturing, In fact, when the new company takes over, they are going straight into production, because all now so we are in fact manufacturing. In fact, I am even asking people, those who want to see our operations, they can actually go to shed number 5 at the Canefield Industrial Estate and see the machines that we have here, and meet the workers that we have here, and see the manufacturing process. So we are in fact fully operational as we speak to you. It's just that we are transitioning to a new company to take it over. And one of the things that we are hoping that the new company will be able to do, from the business plan that we have developed and the recommendations that we are making, is to be able to invest into more machines to do more products. So it is to expand. And the main reason for this initiative is for us to be able to expand and go big, instead of the way that we have been going I do not like the smallness of the company as we are now. So yes, sir.
Okay.
You understand? So it is not a company that we are telling you invest and we're going to try to see how we think it. No. It is a company that already exists. We are fully operational. We are in full operation right now. In fact, as I speak to you, we are trying to fulfill some significant orders for our customers this week, and we will be in fact fulfilling orders but at the time of the transition, we will then just be passing over the operations to the new company, and the investment that is being made we are hoping it will be used to buy more machines and to go into more products so that we can really take a chunk of the market that exists in Dominica. Because, as I said, the smallness of operating over the last 6 years has been a constraint, and I'm saying that we can go big, and the only way that we can really go big is by broadening the ownership base, let more people come on board with their new investments, buy the new machines that are necessary, and then start producing the products,
Okay, let me ask you one more question. Is there a maximum or a limit placed on the among the shares that anyone can purchase?
This question, I would prefer it to. I want to refer it to the new company, which is McDonald Thomas.
And there's an email that
there is an email you can actually reach McDonald Thomas by. It is NIPCO Limited, NIPPCO LTD, at gmail.com. So NIPCO Limited at gmail.com. So if you send an email to him, or if you could text me or WhatsApp me, you could message me at 767-245-1294. But these are information we do not want to give in public. You understand where I'm coming from? So these are messages, this is information we are giving to people one-on-one. In fact, the communication between the company and potential investors is one-on-one, because there is a high level of confidentiality in dealing with the potential investors.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. We have another caller with a question. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is an important subject you all have this morning, because you see, I have observed a lot of things happening in this country that is deliberately done to discourage this sort of investment. And this is a very serious matter. When you want to tell me a government, one-man government, is going away, coming back with industry that can never come out from the ground to wherever it has to go. This has been happening all along, and no encouragement by the government and to the people of this country to really make this kind of investment. This is the thing that are very important, and I'm glad you all are bringing it out. And then the one which you're talking about, to me, is one that is very clear and it's easy to understand. If I had money, I would invest in it right now. But let me tell you all something. That is another thing I have to say, It appears that this government, one-man government, is going into things he alone without carrying a study, a feasibility study. He doesn't do that. He goes away. When he comes back, he's not drinking rum, so I can't say he's getting what. But what I can say about it is that when he comes back, he just decides what he's doing and what he has to do, or what he wants to fool the people with. When you look at this killing industry that he's going to put there, this abattoir there might just be a big upset about our economy, to have things, you employing only red people.
Anyway, caller, to be honest, I understand what you're saying, but that's why if people listen to me over the last 2 weeks, I try to stay away from some of this discussion, because I'll tell you what, as a Dominican who has been living in Dominica for over 50 years of my life, with the exception of the period that I spent studying architecture overseas, I realize that as I approach the twilight years and we're approaching the age of retirement, there are some things that we have to do which have to be independent of what politicians think or what politicians do. And we have to take the initiatives on our own, because I am convinced that we as private citizens can do things for ourselves in spite of all the negatives that exist, and that we can survive, and we can show the rest of Dominica how we can survive and make and make ourselves prosper. Because I have one concern, Tom, that is my generation, as we are getting to the age of retirement, that what is being put in place for us to enjoy our retirement, particularly those of us who have been self-employed. And I'm concerned about it because we recognize that quite a number of, our children are not really like us. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Our
indeed.
children are the ones, whereas I made a conscious decision to be back in Dominica for the last 30 years after graduating. It is difficult to tell our children that they have to be
do
in
the same.
Dominica.
That's true.
Because with this global village concept that has been developed, people do not find themselves committed to one single country of birth anymore.
That's right.
Because the world is their country as well.
All right, let's take this final caller for Mr. McKenzie. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Very interesting program, very good program. The meeting tomorrow at Garwe, is it open to the public?
It is open to the public, yes.
And what time is it?
5 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, caller. So 5 p.m. tomorrow, all of the information that cannot be given publicly, you will get a chance to ask one-on-one, including a question from a caller who asked whether you have a prospectus.
We have a prospectus. We have an innovative business plan. In fact, I do not know if you recall that, some years ago we were successful with the Compete Caribbean, where they actually prepared an innovative business plan for the company that we had not been able to implement, and because again of our smallness and our limitations. But this is a business plan that was prepared by Compete Caribbean and the Inter-American Development Bank. And this is one of the things that I think that will be the new company will be using to move forward, because it is in fact an innovative business plan for real growth, sustainable growth of the company. So we have a prospectus, there is a procedure in place. There is a procedure in place for people investing. So for example, if somebody is interested, they could send me a WhatsApp or email me or telephone me. I would send them an introduction letter explaining what we are doing, where we came from, where we are, and where we are hoping to go. And then after this introductory letter, then we'll be getting in, McDonald Thomas will take over and then give them the necessary information with how they can actually apply to invest in the company and all the other information that is required. But the forum tomorrow is one where we want to share more information with people, to share the vision as to where we think that the people company could be going in the next 5 years.
Okay, well, excellent. Thank you very much, Sevra. And again, the meeting is taking place at 5 o'clock tomorrow, Tuesday, at the Garwe Hotel. If you're interested in the People's Paper Company, that's the place for you tomorrow afternoon. So thanks again, Sir, for coming in.
And this is the company of Dominicans at home and abroad.
And abroad. Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Free up with 6 months broadband internet from Digicel Play. Simply sign up for Play TV service and get 8 megabyte broadband internet free for 6 months. Enjoy more channels on Digicel Play TV. Watch all the latest movies and sports in high definition and get 6 months free reliable broadband internet with free installation and free modem. This offer is valid for a limited time only. Call us at 616-1600 or 616-1700 for more information, or visit the Digicel Play office on Bath Road. Digicel terms and conditions apply. Experience extraordinary.
We go to school on Monday, there's time for holidays. But in September, it's back to school again. New books and books to buy. Clothes, shoes, even linen. Mama katape melted like katape lajan. Well, mama come to big age and papa come to big age. Your children need the big age to go to school in style. Yes, all loans granted from July 1st to September 9th, kote big age. Katape or discount. Discount as loan? Yes, my dear. Only 2% interest monthly. Plus, chaque moun qui t'a payé un loan côté big edge, your Them goes into the barrel for the big draw. First prize $1,500 and a $500 grocery hamper. Second prize $1,000 and a $300 grocery hamper. Third prize $500 plus a $100 grocery hamper. Can you imagine Utape Lonu and you still getting a chance to win a big prize? So, will you join me in the back to school match? We are marching to Big Edge. Wonderful, wonderful Big Edge. Big Edge, financing your most cherished moments.
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, J.B. Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and L.A. Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
We can. Okay, we are back here with your talk on the hot seat, indeed, as we kind of open up the lines now for your conversation. But before we do, we have a very important announcement. Somebody is reporting that a vehicle is missing, a vehicle registration number PB416. It was parked in Maho from about 1 p.m. on Saturday, and on Sunday morning it was gone. It is a Suzuki Sidekick with 2 doors. Color is black and white with black rims with white markings on the rims. On the hood has a design in red. So any information would be needed. So anybody having seen this vehicle of late, this Suzuki Sidekick 2-door that has suddenly gone missing in Maho, you are asked to call 316-8192, 316-8192, or you can call 265-9990. All right, let's take your calls. Good morning. Good morning.
Fountain, good morning again, and the listeners.
Yes, good morning.
When the rain falls, it don't fall on one man's house. Today for me, tomorrow for you. The seed one sow today shall be the harvest for tomorrow. The world is a cycle. It is as small as an umbrella. People migrate from one destination to another. Do the right to every citizen so that your life can be safe and secure, no matter where you are. If there were at least 5 children in Dominica's miracle, then it would be excellent with hopes of prosperity, empowerment, a high motivation for good aspirations, and a positive attitude for a better future. But some of the adults have to be held accountable for not being a leader instead of a follower and mislead their children to shame and poverty. They will not be bombarded with reality now because they are capable of moving and have a voice. It will be knocking at their doorstep when they get older, and age and feebleness will be their best friend. The children that their parents did not prepare a future for will be incapable of helping the situation, as they will be financially depressed and empty-handed. Do the right today to avoid your sorrow tomorrow. Have a blessed day, each and everyone who listens to the program. Fountain, do a good job, and Kalai Fountain, I'm looking forward for you to bring the reports from the court like you do when Matt is there, because if Fountain is sitting in for Matt, you're supposed to provide us with that program there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Let's take some more of your calls. Good morning, caller.
Doc, blessings to you.
Yes, blessings.
I glad my brother Carlisle have the same surname with you now. Carlisle Fountain.
Carlisle Fountain, yes.
That's nice. Anyway, let me say blessings to the Empress. There is a blessings to you, my dear. Just being humorous, you know, Doc. Things
Yes,
are so
indeed.
serious in the country. Sometimes we need a little humor just to,
Absolutely.
maintain our sanity. Can't be serious all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, Doc, I am just watching the whole thing. I heard about 2 Chinese nationals. Matt broke the news on Saturday that were caught removing large sums of money from the ATM machines, Doc. Also, or one ATM machine. Knowing how much we are living in a very closed society, and the Chinese seems to be having the status of immunity. Because you remember a couple of years ago what happened at West Point when the Chinese must have hit a guy with some cone. That orange thing they have marking the roads, Doc.
Right, the cones, yes. I remember that, yes. I remember that situation, yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
and the guy attempted to hit him a blow, and when he jumped away and he fell in a hole that was being dug in that same area. The road construction, the West Coast road construction was taking place. And you heard the whole saga about they went to the guy's home, arrested him, take him to the headquarters, ask him to apologize to Chinese. You know everything. So I am saying, could it be the first time? How long the police have been having these guys or the Chinese under surveillance? And maybe now they finally have concrete evidence that they may have arrested 2 of them. And what will be the outcome of that case? Knowing the court system and with politicians having the influences or the tentacles into every affair and situation in Dominica. And I am saying, Doc, we are fast asleep, and it's just like tying it up. Roosevelt Skerritt is never on island. When last Roosevelt Skerritt had kept a press conference? When last the media had any opportunity to ask Roosevelt Skerritt any question about the burning issues? Look, I'm hearing that Skerritt refused to host the OECS 15 of them heads.
That's correct, yeah.
Using as an excuse that Erica, but I'm listening to them all the time saying how fast, how quick we recovered. But look at the madness and the contradiction, Doc. They broke an existing bridge that were being used. And when you have 4 other bridges over the same river, and look, the matter is in court. And you have Bailey bridges sitting several feet lower than the existing bridges before Erica. And none of them is being rebuilt, Doc. And that level of insanity has to be taken into account. And I am still asking myself, what manner of people that would allow that obvious brutality? That's why I said that in his criminal activities, he's brutally obvious. And Dominicans are still there, maybe waiting for the axe to fall. What is happening to us as a people? Why can't we consolidate our efforts and move forward collectively against this criminal enterprise and these criminals? My brother, have a blessed day, and I'm listening. Take care.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, caller. And we are just learning that Andy Carbon, the same gentleman who was scalded with hot water, was involved in a hit and run last night. Somebody apparently hit Andy while he was walking somewhere in Canefield, on I think one of the Canefield cliff, and he was seen bleeding by the roadside and taken to the hospital. So another very sad saga. After being burnt, he's now been hit by a vehicle, and he did not die but was taken to the hospital. The driver did not stop. Good morning, caller. Okay, we seem to have lost this caller there. The driver, whoever it was that hit him, did not stop. So it's officially a hit and run. So if you obviously if you have any information concerning this hit and run that took place last night at around 10:30 p.m., you're encouraged to call the police. And we have another caller. Good morning. Welcome to the hot seat.
Yeah. Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I am not too happy about the way I was cut off a while ago. I wasn't through with my point, and because what I was saying wasn't satisfactory to the receiver on your side, you just put me off.
No, and my apologies for that.
Listen, I don't think anything I said was libelous, and I'm talking the facts because I was not through yet.
No, I think Mr. Mackenzie was reacting to what you said. I don't think I caught you off deliberately. I think Mr. Mackenzie was reacting to what you said. And by the time I came back, you were gone. So my apologies there.
No, I stayed there until you put me up because I had to give you a chance to say something. But I am looking at it very seriously. Well, if that is the case, I will not call on the radio.
No, there's no need for that. Like I said, it is my fault. I did not realize. I thought you were gone after he responded, and I took another caller.
I am saying, he used some words. I know my Mr. Mackenzie very well, but he used some words I find that was funny. He used I, meaning that it's in his investment. So because of that, Dorok boat, we are not under dictatorship. I am not accepting that I am under dictatorship in this country. I prefer to fight. I am not under dictatorship. A man bringing all his kind of investment by words. For years he has been doing that. I'm giving you kudos for the topic you will have today. I give you high credit for that. Because, you cannot tell me you bring an abattoir and you're going to tell me the item is going to be more expensive than imported items. Man, this is ridiculous. And so many other investments he has talked about. Where are they? Man, let me tell you something. I am very pissed about that cutoff. I'm pissed because I was making my point, and my point was very substantial. And I find I am not happy about it.
But I'm giving you the chance to make your point again. Like I said, I'm sorry, I apologize, and I'm giving you a chance to make your point. So go ahead.
And I admire you, man. You were a finished product, man. I admire you because another person would have slammed again, and then that would be the end of me with this kind of communication.
No, we appreciate your interventions and cues, so we're not going to cut you. Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, I was very much surprised. My phone was on all along, allowing you to talk or who to talk. I wasn't expecting a cutoff. So it means that if he has two investments now, he might be behaving just similarly to what I'm talking about against. And anyway, man, I think I complete what I have to say because this government will take the country to the gutter. That is his plan, and circulate money all about and get back into power, man. This is the things going to happen in this country. Isn't there? Can there be a law? Can there be a law in this country for Mr. to have no right to take money to play campaign when it is certified his campaign is taking it for? He knows nothing about the community for 5 years, and just because of politics, he comes in 1 minute and spends $3 million in a place. Man, this is absurd. Anyway, thanks very much. I admire you, man.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. All of our lines are going at 10 before the hour of 10 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to the hot seat.
Good morning, Mr. Franklin. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I hope what happened to Andy last night was just an accident and not a dead man who would tell no tales. Because if he's dead, everything that happened a couple weeks ago would go under. I hope it wasn't that, because nobody knows. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Certainly, I would expect the police to investigate in this story of hit and run. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dr. Fontaine.
Yes, good morning.
Dr. Fontaine, this morning something really strange happened. I was at a store, a business place in Kingfield, and the radio station was on there, another radio station, and I keep hearing, oh, Dr. Thompson Fontaine should be sued. He should be sued. So I'm listening and to hear what they want to sue you about. And then they're talking about the host played a tape, and they were saying because you were concerned and asking questions about the Petro-Carib and the Petro-Carib money, etc., etc. But you're not alone.
Well, I'd welcome this suing. We have to ask questions. I mean, the Petro-Carib agreement, and we are going to talk about it again this week. So let me serve notice that we will be raising the Petro-Carib again. Because the Venezuelan people are asking where have all the monies gone to? They sold the oil and they did not get the money, and that's a basic question that needs to be answered.
Yeah, this is a question. This is a question that has been asked by the opposition in Parliament on several occasions, and did not get, in my opinion, a good answer or even a response. So you're not alone in your concern about Petro-Caribbean money. A lot of people are concerned about it. I, for one, I'm concerned about it myself too, as a citizen of this country, and because there will come a time when we have to pay all these hundreds of millions of dollars back. So I am concerned about it. Have a good morning, my friend. I'm listening to the program. Very good indeed.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. We appreciate it. More of your telephone calls. Good morning.
Yeah, the laws of coincidence is not consistent, Dr. Fountain, and I hope the situation there, according to my friend, is just an accident or a coincidence. It is very strange, my brother, the sequence of events. So Dominicans have to become more militant and more vigilant. It is much too obvious, that level of brutality. And these Caribbean leaders, particularly Roosevelt Skerrit and Ralph Gonsalves and all the other corrupt ones, that want to pass extradition laws for Caribbean people when they commit crime and run to other Caribbean countries for safe haven, to have them extradited. Ralph Gonsalves and all the Roosevelt Skerrit, I hope they will pass laws for them, all these corrupt Caribbean leaders, when they commit their crimes in government, when they get out, to pass a law to execute them publicly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Earlier this morning, I said that there were two. There was actually one earthquake that took place about 2 minutes before 3 o'clock. I stand corrected. So about 2 minutes to 3 o'clock early this morning, and with a magnitude of about 4.4. So there was one, not two tremors. Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the abattoir.
Okay.
And I don't seem to understand how comes everything that is processed or manufactured in Dominica always turn out to be more expensive in Dominica than when it goes out of Dominica.
Okay.
So it turns out to me that Dominica is one of the most expensive countries you can get in the whole international region.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as the guy from Castle Bruce, who they say that is the Minister of Agriculture, now, he gave a reason why things are going to turn up more expensive, right? But what he doesn't understand, why this poultry stuff is cheaper on the international market out there, because of the great subsidies that government gives to poultry farmers, and also the manufacturing of the poultry feeds in the very country. And it's the practice of raising or doing poultry farming is way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So in Dominica, we still depend on importing maybe the feeds and these things, and they're very expensive.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why it will be cheaper out there, not for the reason that he gave. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
So now, what I'm saying about this poultry thing, it is totally disorganized, because the way it is, actually, it is in a Viking way that who are the farmers going to provide how many? 1,000 chicken an hour, which is perhaps 8,000 plus chicken a day, every day, and 50 pigs same time a day. So how is that possible? I don't see any success in that. What they don't understand is that not only that outside in the international region that the poultry is cheaper, but they also produce in mass production.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
So therefore, they have the human capital, they have the consumers to actually purchase these things. We doesn't have so much down there, and then we have the competition. Now, the government has already killed the economy. Now, people will always go for the chicken that is cheaper than what is. How are you going to ask people to buy the most expensive one when you yourself involved in the same government who actually empty the pockets of the people? So what do they expect? They expect people to go to the red clinic, ask the Skerrit for money to go and buy chicken. People their monies can only reach the cheaper chicken, which is the one from overseas. Now, if we're going to mitigate this situation, we need to produce or process things and have it cheaper on the Dominica market so people can support what is being done in Dominica. So what they need to understand is they need to boost on the tourism industry so we can have more hotel sectors down here, and that more of these chickens can sell to these facilities and these commercial businesses, so then they can see now a profit in that's going into the future. So, my brother, I just see a whole ton of nonsense happening. And this so-called guy from Castlebrus, didn't he say the only amount of bananas we have in Dominica is just for boiling brass? My brother, how can you be the Minister of Agriculture and talking about under your watch, your production is only for boiling of brass? You understand something? After you spend $200,000 and more buying bananas to replace the one you already have a market for in Dominica, and you bring in a banana that doesn't have a market, and you're trying to bring a non-market banana to take over a banana that have markets already, rather than treating it and bring it back like the regional countries did, and have a market to have farmers back to work and people working again and have the economy where agriculture is concerned moving on. Anyway, thanks, man.
Okay, thank you, caller. Let's see if we can get 2 more calls in at 2 before the hour of 10 o'clock. Good morning.
Good morning again, Thompson. Prior protocol established stipulated.
Yes, we have only about a minute and a half left, so...
Good. I don't know if the listeners will recall that some time ago when the farmers were selling vegetables in the market and the government allowed their select persons to import those vegetables, they complained that the farmers' vegetables were more expensive, so that is why they allowed them to import vegetables. Now that the government have this abattoir, it is okay that the locally produced chicken is more expensive. But in the case of the farmers, it was not okay.
Excellent point, caller.
Inconsistency and the ignorance and the stupidity of this government is remarkable. My goodness, they must be taken for, pre-K children. Good morning.
Yes, okay, caller. Thank you. This caller, you have the final say. Good morning. Yes.
Again, what happened to Andy is not an accident, that is an incident. An accident, the person would have stayed there. They are trying to kill him so he will not have his day in court. But God is a good God. To his mother, kneel down, my lady, and say your Psalms 35 and your Psalms 91 and your Psalms 27. God will give you your satisfaction. Yes, he said, the Prime Minister said, yes, we recover quickly after Erica. Yes. We did in corruption, confusion, prostitution, deviation, manipulation, molestation, and rejection. We did a lot in that. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. 30 seconds. Good morning, caller. Yes, caller? Caller, can you speak up, please? We have not been informed. It is supposed to be in July. We have not yet been informed.
What's happening? Has it been doing consultation? We have not been hearing about that. What is happening? Find out from it, please.
Okay, we will. Thank you very much, caller. Sadly, we can't take any more of your calls. It's just about 10 o'clock, and we queued in for the 10 o'clock update. Thank you so much for listening to us today. I'll be back tomorrow on your radio with another edition of the Hot Seat. Until then, take care and stay tuned to the morning update.
Good morning and welcome to Q95's morning news update for today, Monday, July 11th, 2016. This is brought to you compliments Dominica Brewery and Beverages Limited and Digicel.
Free talk, more data, Digicel. Experience the all-new Digicel talk and data plan. Get more data with unlimited talk right now with Digicel. Get 500 megabytes of data with free talk for 7 days for only $25. Now you can enjoy data with free talk. Yes, talk and data plans that cater to your needs. Now at Digicel. Digicel terms and conditions apply. Digicel, be extraordinary.
Musical Melee presents the classiest musical event in Dominica on Sunday, July 19th at the Arawak House of Culture from 8 p.m. Come and enjoy music from the 50s to the 70s, performed by Dominica's classiest personalities: Carlene Simeon, Ozzie Lewis, Tasha Peltier, Shirley Charles, Maxine Arlene Esprit, Leona Peters, Murphy Cy John Juice, Philip Hosford, Ophelia Marie, Darrell Bob, Joan Shillenford, and more. It will be a night spent down memory lane. Arawak House of Culture, Sunday, July 19. It's the Musical Melee 2016. Be there. Sponsored by Neo Expression, Dominica Brewery and Beverages Limited, Agents for Vitamalt. Tickets are now available at Bullseye Pharmacy, Nick's Trading, St. Agnes Bookstore, and the Pottersville Presbytery. Sunday, July 19th. Arawak House of Culture, Sunday, July 19th. Musical Melee.
Welcome back. In news this morning, General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Mr.